College Football 25 is here, and they came out with a team builder for launch. You can customize a complete team. Names, uniforms, alternate uniforms, full and complete customizable stadiums and playbooks. College Football 25 team builder, you just hit this create button, and you can get started. I have already created 8 full and complete teams. I jumped into one just to see what it was like, got obsessed, and created the entire warehouse games in all 8 of their franchises. Now, first and foremost, when you jump in, this is the screen you're going to see, but it's going to be nothing but default EA Sports branding everywhere. Your colors will be red, white, and blue. You won't even have any logos in. You're just going to go through your school information, the basics. You're going to put your school information in. You're going to select your colors. You're going to select the font of your team. You're going to pick the branding of your team, which is pretty unique. You'll get to select between Adidas, Nike, and Under Armour. Now, just my suggestion here, I think Nike has the best uniforms. There's a decent amount. Adidas only has 2. Nike and Under Armour, I believe, have like 5 each. Adidas only has 2. Nike's logo is a little bit more subtle. Under Armour, I think, has the best uniform options, but their branding is kind of just like screaming at you. And Adidas, as you'll see as we go through this Love Yous build here, I'm going to show you the team builder. Not as many options as I'd like with Adidas, so keep that in mind when you're selecting. Now, once you enter in all your school information, this is when you're going to drop down here and do your logos. You can enter in up to 3 logos. They have default logos here for you to choose from. These EA ones are the ones that are set, but if you have custom logos you'd like to upload, just hit the plus button, and then in the top left corner you have My Uploads. If you don't have any uploads in there, you just press the plus button to let you add up to 10. I have the primary and secondary Love Yous logos, the script font classic, and then the block varsity letters. Make sure when you're adding logos in here and anytime you're doing anything in the team builder on this website that you hit the apply button in the bottom left corner. Hit this save button, because there's been a ton of people on the servers. There's so much buzz around this game. Website has kind of gone on me a couple times and I had to restart. So hit the save button after like every tab. You can go about building your team however you please. I like to get all of the team information in before I actually build the uniforms and the stadium. So I'm going to slide from the brand tab, and I'm actually going to go all the way over here to the right to the program tab. This is where you can put in your playbooks. This is where you can select the type of offense you want to run, spread, option attack, air it out, ground attack, whatever it may be. We have a Syracuse playbook. The Love Yous squad is based out of New York, so we got the Syracuse playbook, 3-4 defense, spread offense. You can also customize your team here. You can't change their names, but you can change their number, what hand they are, what year they are. You can have an all-freshman team. You can have a massive team, a short team. You can even customize their attributes if you want to cheese it. I'm keeping everything here simple. I might go through and adjust some things just so there's some really good players on all of these rosters, but it's not going to be overpowered. And then once you're done with that, the next thing that you can do is you can slide over to Stadium. I like to do Stadium before the uniform for one reason. There's still more text things that you need to type in on Stadium. You get to choose your stadium name. So you can get this full top bar up here, your team name, your location, your stadium name, its capacity, your playbooks. All of this information at the top will be done if you save the uniforms for last. Diane's place, of course, is where the Love Yous will be located. I have the Georgia Stadium as the template just because it's a 90-plus thousand person stadium. It's not going to look like Georgia at all because these customizable options here are incredible. Crowd work is the first thing you start with. It allows you to pick what colors your fans will be wearing in the crowd, and you can even balance how much of each color you'd like to see. So we're going to have more pink than white in our fan base here with Love Yous, and this is the finished product that you are seeing on the screen right now for Love Yous. I'm going to go through every single option and how I got here. First things first, what you don't see on the screen, but what you will see in the game is the crowd colors. So that's first. Second is surface. I was going to go grass. I did grass for a handful of these, but the turf just kind of turned out really nice with a lot of different colors. I was concerned about the brightness of the pink or even the white for Love Yous, but I really love the way that this pink turf field, I went with the lighter pink, not the hot pink. The hot pink's a little bit too bright. And then once you have your field type and your field coloring completed, you can slide down here to logos. Your end zones will still be default. Your end zones are separate from the actual field work. Logos is up next, midfield, and you can also do, I believe it's secondary logos, but I don't think you can upload a secondary logo. You can only use the default ones, so I have that off I don't want the branding there if it's not mine. We have the primary block text as the midfield. One note, it does seem that like script font or like name type of text don't look good at midfield. Here's the Love Yous one, for example. It just kind of like crams it in there, and it did that with a lot of the different font ones. So anytime we can go with an actual logo or block lettering, it looks way better in this team build, so we went there. End zones. End zones, there's a couple options. There's 7 different ways you can dress up your end zone, and then you can colorize it whichever way you want. So we went with the font text in the end zone. Fits a lot better there. There's more room to spread, and then we went with the white backdrop. So pink field, white end zone, script font. Right end zone is also its own separate thing down here. You just check the coloring, and the logos is where you'll actually slap these in. So the end zones are actually completed in 2 different tabs. You select what style of end zone you want, what colors you want, and then the logos is where you'll actually lock them in. I believe it's custom layers down here. So you can see we have this Love Yous text. When you hit custom layers, you're going to hit add custom layer here on the left. You can add up to 5 layers. We have 1 end zone layer text, which is the script font. And down here at the placement, you can go left end zone, right end zone, or midfield. And make sure you hit that apply button. I'm going to be completely honest with you. The reason we have 1 script font and 1 checkered is because the right end zone imagery isn't popping up right now. There's like an issue with the website. Just the left end zone is saving, so that's not working. But I actually think the checkered looks really good. 2 different types of end zone. Kind of fits the Love You vibe. So I'm just actually going to keep that. I like that a lot. But I could add a second script font and do 2 white bold end zones if I wanted to. That's what I originally was going to do. Now the numbers. You can get really detailed on the numbers, and I got extremely detailed on the numbers. First things first, you can change the text. There's 5 different texts here. I'm going to go with the varsity text for Love Yous, kind of just to match that logo in the middle. You can put the number frequency to every 10 yards or every 5 yards. You can have the college width field, or you can even change it to a pro-style field where the hash marks are tighter and the numbers are more in the middle of the field, but it's college football 25. We're doing the college. And then it also lets you get extremely detailed. You got the goal line stuff that you can mess with. You got field lines that you can mess with. I made the field lines black, stands out on the pink, but then you can also adjust the 20 and 50-yard lines. We went with a white outline around the 20 and 50-yard line around that black. Now we have the sidelines. We went checkered sideline, and I kind of think it maybe, I'm sorry, this is actually the benches. The benches is where we went checkered, which is what you see on the outside. Checkered might actually be too much with the checkered end zone now. I think I'm going to change that to something more simple like this. Yeah, we'll save that. So I'm going to actually change my benches to just a straight chalk line. Too much checkered. Now we're going to jump up from benches to sideline. And you can go all crazy with these sidelines. There's a bunch of different designs that you can work with. Some of them are simple and boring. You can have one be white, one be black, whatever your team colors are. I'm just going with a straight black bold outline on this one. Actually this one I wanted to show you guys. It's kind of like a sharp. I think I used this one for team baggage. It looked really good on their field, but the bright pink and white everywhere. I think the bold outline on this looked really, really good. Just kind of finished it off. Locked in all those bright colors. Goes with the field lines really good. Ended up being probably my favorite field out of all of the franchise teams that I built. Now, before we get into the uniforms, which is the bread and butter of this video, of course, if you don't know what the Warehouse Games is or any of these franchises that I mentioned at the beginning of the video, go subscribe to Warehouse Games. First of all, you're welcome. When you get to the uniform screen, you can do home, away, and you can add alternates, which is a lovely option. We just did home and away to start things off here. First and foremost, right out of the gate, you're going to have your helmets right in front of you, and it is beautiful. You can select your color. You do have a color wheel here you can use. You can choose between matte, shiny, and chrome for your helmets. I think that the shiny and the chrome just get a little bit too silver for this particular build, so we're going matte white on the helmet. We are doing, I believe, a 2-tone stripe on these as well. Let's look at it on the front. Yeah, 2-tone stripe with the Love Yous tag on the front and back. It does allow you to touch everything in this, from your customized logos going everywhere first and foremost. You can do the different stripes at the top. You can also add your number to it if that's your style. And then you get to go in detail on all the accessories, your strap, your cup, top to bottom, the entire helmet, every crack and crevice you can detail. You went simple here, then the jerseys. Now we're going to get into these Adidas jerseys. Like I said, there's only 2 stitch options. That's it. And when you get into the nameplate on the back, you can't do any two-tone. So the only two options you have here on this backplate are just one color. That's not going to work with most color combinations. But since we're just doing white on a bright color, it'll work here. But I prefer that two-tone that you will see on the numbers that we're using for Love Yous. We're going to drop this down. Check out the front. And we did put the little Love Yous tag right there in the middle on both the home and away. And when you drop down, you can see the pants. And it's all just very simple. Same thing. You can add different color tones on as stripes. You can change the branding colors. You can add your own logos to it. We added the logo, the Love You secondary logo, to the front of the pants to go along with the Adidas on the opposite side. And then last but not least, you can also touch into your socks, base brand, and under sock color. And once you're completely done, you just go over here to the right. You can preview your uniform. So we're just going to take a nice little preview at the home Love Yous unis, the hot pink white helmet Love Yous unis. Now we'll slide over to the away. We went white on the aways with the hot pink surrounded by black. Looks pretty nice. Here's what the numbers look like on the back. Again, you can't do the two-tone on the nameplate, so it doesn't pop as much. Now, when it comes to the stadium, can't wait to see it in game. I think Love Yous is my favorite field that I built out of all of the franchises here. But they're not my favorite uniform that I made. I'm going to save this. Once you're completely done, hit that save button. And then once it saves, you're also going to hit this submit button, which will lock it in. It's going to bring you to this final screen where you can look at everything, preview it, check out your field and your uniforms one last time. But this submit button on the bottom is what is going to lock this in to your inventory complete. Now, as you can see, people have already started downloading. Okay, literally, we just put the post up 5 minutes ago. Let's go. We are downloading. Woogas might have the coolest logo, like by far. The Woogas helmet in all of its glory. The home uniforms are looking crispy for the Woogas. Maybe my favorite uniform that I made. The away Woogas are white with the dark pants. Woogas on the side. Wooga Monster on the helmet. Two-tone last name and numbers. Awooga Arena will be the Michigan Stadium, of course. Getting over 107,000 people in there in Detroit, Michigan. Shout out to Jimmy Nord. Branded it out just like this. It looks beautiful, doesn't it? I don't know where the logos, and again, here, as you can see, that right end zone's just not clicking. It's just not going to let us, so we'll just ignore that for now. We did get the Woogas in the one end zone. Now, hook, line, sinkers with their beautiful green. Yeah, I love hook, line, sinkers.
So that's it, guys. That was Team Builder Breakdown. We went through it all. If you're going to jump into Team Builder, I enjoy it. I turned this on today just to see what it was like. I did one, and I was like, you know what? I am addicted. Go check out Warehouse Games on YouTube, and I'll see you guys in the next one. College Football 25. There's going to be a lot of it here.